Alright, so today was quite traumatic for me. I'm a high school senior, 18, and proposal season is currently in full swing. I was in my advanced placement gem class when suddenly an entourage of people entered my classroom with a disabled girl. She has cerebral palsy, that I know. I first saw the posters and the bouquet of flowers she was holding and thought, that's sweet of her. Then they revealed the posters and I read my name and was completely taken aback. I literally almost had a freaking anxiety attack. I didn't know what to say at all, and the entire class was cheering and people even started filming. I was straight up frozen for a minute, and I could feel myself burning up with embarrassment. Of course, I wanted to say no, but since it was so public and everyone was waiting for me to say yes, I did and hugged her. Everyone clapped including the teacher, and I was mortified. One of my buddies asked me if I was okay afterwards since apparently I looked like I was gonna burst into tears, and I told him I literally did not expect that at all, and I didn't want to say yes. He suggested that I go find her after school or something and explain that to her, and I agreed. Now, this girl is really nice. We had a class together last year and sat next to each other for a majority of it and talked quite a lot. I would say we were friends then, but we haven't spoken more than 2 times this school year, so we've definitely drifted apart. That's why I was completely shocked when she sprung the prom asking on me. Usually, people have their friends make sure that the other is at least aware before doing the asking to prevent situations like this. I was contemplating if I should just bite the bullet and go with her, but decided I just couldn't because it is my senior year prom and I was already starting to plan my asking. There's this girl that I've liked for a couple of months now, and I recently heard from my friends that she likes me back, so I was gonna ask her. So I ended up going to the special ed classroom after school where I found her and asked if I could speak to her outside. I told her everything and how I really appreciated the gesture, but I was already planning on asking my crush to prom, and she was crushed. She started crying really loudly and asked me why I couldn't have just said no, and I said that I didn't want to embarrass the two of us in front of all those people. At this point, one of her aides came out to check on us since she could hear the crying, and the girl told her aide what happened and she straight up glared at me and said, "That's not okay." Now I feel like absolute crap. Am I the idiot? No idiots here. You're both really young and this is such a hard lesson to learn on both sides. You both sound like you have good intentions, but ended badly. Some people hate public displays like this and freeze up. You're not an idiot for hating them, and you're not an idiot for freezing and saying yes, just to get the thing over with and to be nice. You tried to fix it quickly. As you get older, you're going to be expected to say no in the moment. As it is, you're a kid. And she's gotta learn to check in on this stuff. She's not an idiot either. When my brother was in high school, a girl in his math class who'd apparently been crushing on him created an entire PowerPoint asking my brother to prom. My brother, being the blunt idiot that he has always been, straight up told this girl no in front of the entire class. No, I'm not saying my brother was wrong. But I think you saved her a lot more embarrassment by agreeing publicly, but explaining yourself to her in private. You did good, kid. Not the idiot. So let me get this straight. She purposely asked you out in front of everyone, knowing you would look horrible if you turned her down. Imagine being the kid known for turning down someone with a disability publicly, and when you told her privately later about the situation she blames you and doesn't take the blame, and the aide takes her side. Not the idiot, the girl tried to manipulate you into going out with her and possibly used her disability as leverage. She's the idiot here for sure. My mom and dad split up last year cause my dad was cheating on my mom. They were married for 18 years and he threw it away literally for a 19-year-old. I'm 15 by the way and my sister is 12. I hate my dad and want him to disappear from my life, to be honest, for wrecking my mom's heart, but my mom insists me go over on the weekends because she wants me to have a relationship with my dad. She is always so sad and I love my mom more than anything in the world. She was always there for me and my sis, and I feel like my dad just used her to be a house sitter for him, and yeah. I'm just not cool with him. He is with a lady he was cheating with, and every time we go around she's there getting jealous and angry that we are around my dad. I once actually heard them go into another room and she began screaming saying, "Why do you have to see them so often?" And he was yelling at her, "They're my freaking kids, don't talk about them like that," but the damage was done. When they came back out, my sister called the lady a skank to her face cause she was so mad. His girlfriend burst out crying, and my dad told her to leave and spent the day trying to be all nice to us. But since then I just pretend this woman doesn't exist and told my sister, who is actually really cool, and I never saw her that mad before, to follow my lead, which we do. She hates it. We literally pretend we can't see or hear her. I hate this new life and I hate my dad and I hate that my mom is so sad and that I and my sister are in this new world where we realize my dad never gave a crap about us. My dad is too chicken crap to tell my mom that we are disrespecting his girlfriend, but he told his mom, who called us directly and told us we were supposed to accept wherever my dad chooses to do. I also told her to kick rocks. Are we the idiots? Not the idiot. I would be honest with your mom. Tell her that you don't want to go over there anymore and ask her to not make you. It sounds like she's overcompensating and making sure their separation isn't affecting your relationship with your dad. Your grandma is also wrong. You don't have to accept whoever your dad is dating. Next time she calls and tries to tell you something like that again, I recommend telling her that you're disappointed that she's okay with the example your dad is putting forth. It really screws you and your sister have to go through this. I hope things get better for you. Not the idiot. However, it does sound like he loves you. He defended you to his girlfriend. It can be hard to accept that your parents may not love each other the same way they once did. There are a lot of people out there who get married, have kids, and then stick it out through a relationship in which one or both are unhappy for the kids' sake. I wish you luck and hope that one day you can come to terms with your dad as a fallible man who still loves your kids. I'm sorry you are dealing with this now. Not the idiot. This is causing you guys serious issues. You need to sit your mom down and talk to her frankly and honestly. If you can, see if there's a counselor in your school you can talk to. And if needs be, tell your dad to his face you don't want to see him anymore. In the end, this is your life he's destroyed. Your family he tore apart for a 19-year-old child. That in itself is disgusting. I get that people can desire younger partners, but I've yet to see one with this kind of age difference actually last past 2 years. Especially when his children are basically the same age. So my husband is pretty sick with some serious health problems. It's been hard, especially with everything going on in the world. Not a lot of people know, because I just don't feel up to dealing with pity and the well-meaning but overabundant bouquets that have been filling our small apartment like it's a funeral home. Well, with things opening up here, my friends and I decided to meet for an outdoor lunch at a local restaurant. Several of them didn't know what has been happening with my spouse, including Emily, my friend. I usually avoid telling her about any problems we have because it becomes such a production. We've been friends for years, but lately, my therapist has me questioning what, if anything, I actually get out of the relationship. Anyway, I bring up what's going on, not expecting much, but maybe a pat on the back and some comfort from friends. Well, Emily did not go that route. Instead, she burst into tears and started full-on sobbing in a nearly hysterical way. There I was, the person going through this, dry-eyed, and Emily started sobbing so much that our friends, used to this routine, immediately just started comforting her. The waiter even came over and asked if she needed anything. I asked, "Why are you crying?" in an admittedly cold tone. "Well, I'm an empath, and I'm just picking up on all your emotions. It's like I'm crying for you." "Thanks, but I don't need you to cry, so this show isn't for my benefit." "Well, I can't help it, it's the problem of being an empath. You're not an empath, you're just a crappy friend who makes every problem about you." So I left after promising another friend I'd pay her back for my half-eaten burger. I was just getting angrier and she was sobbing even more, which just pissed me off more. It may have seemed harsh, but she's always like this. My aunt died and Emily had this same overblown reaction about a woman she has never met. If she's such a goddamn empath, then why is she not picking up how angry her attention-seeking makes me? I've told her before how it makes me feel like her emotions always come first, even when I'm going through something, but she just tells me she's an empath, so she can't help it. My friends told me I need to be more thoughtful, because Emily is sensitive. Am I the idiot? I certainly acted like one, but I think her heartless attention-seeking, while I'm talking about my spouse nearly dying, is a big idiotic move. Not the idiot, yes gods, how breathtakingly obnoxious. You were harsh, but yeah, that's ridiculous. However sensitive she may be, she ought to use a shred of that sensitivity for the benefit of others and consider how they feel when she starts a blubberfest over someone else's struggle. I don't blame you at all for your reaction. It's one thing to get teary-eyed when someone else is crying or be angry on someone else's behalf, but for Pete's sake, it's the hurt, aggrieved person whose emotions should be the focus, not some empath friend who's emoting 10 times as hard as the actual victim. Not the idiot. Emily isn't sensitive at all, you nailed it when you said that if she's an empath, why isn't she picking up on the anger? It's because acting out anger wouldn't get her the same sort of attention as crying does. Emily is also crapping about not being able to help it, she only picks up on crying that isn't even there and spins things so that you're looking like a heartless person for mentioning that your husband very nearly lost his life. You see exactly what Emily is. Not the idiot. I find myself crying if someone tells me something that's really upset them, but I am thoroughly embarrassed by it and know it's inappropriate. I can't help it and it's not something I'm proud of. If I ended up being consoled more than the person with the actual issue, I would excuse myself and go try to stop being so ridiculous, but that hasn't happened because although I can't stop myself crying at times, I can make it so it's not a huge drama. So can Emily, she's being an idiot. My ex-wife Jane and I have a 9-year-old called Lucy. She lives with Jane, but I have regular contact. She's lovely, a very loud, springy, and energetic girl. She's currently going through her pretending to be a teenager phase and is obsessed with dressing, acting like an older girl. She also tries to imitate teenage slang in it blood. She's very bright too. In her school assessments, she came top of her year in all 3 main subjects, English, Maths, and Science, and got 100%, not a single mistake in all 3. She's got lots of friends and had a birthday party last week which was absolutely packed. My partner Kirsty and I have a daughter too. Her name is Tina and she's 6. She's a highly sensitive child and cries very frequently. She can get emotionally overwhelmed at any time and burst into tears. She is frightened very easily and is scared of almost everything, heights and the dark are the worst. She's very smart in school just like her sister, but doesn't have many friends because she's often scared to play with other children. Tina sleeps with a night light and sometimes sleeps in our room if she gets too frightened. Her therapist has recommended all of this. Today Lucy was to spend the night here. It was bedtime, and Lucy thought it would be funny to play creepy sounds and voices into Tina's bedroom. We didn't know until Tina ran into our room screaming. Lucy followed her laughing. It took a long time to calm Tina down. She was whimpering and hyperventilating and wanted to spend the night in our room. Tina was my main worry at the moment, and I phoned Jane asking if she could come and pick Lucy up. Lucy started crying and saying it was just a joke. I didn't do it to punish her, but because at that moment we needed to focus on calming Tina down. When Jane picked her up, Lucy was crying her eyes out, saying she hates me and doesn't want to come back here. All I could say was that I loved her. Jane wasn't happy either, accusing me of everything from favoritism to babying Tina and saying I didn't deserve Lucy. Tina has finally gone to bed in the little cushion bed we made for her. I'm writing this because it was so heartbreaking seeing Lucy like that. She genuinely thought I was kicking her out. I don't know when I'll see her next, but I feel like I've let her down as her dad. You're the idiot. You have 2 children, not just 1. This was simply poor parenting. You are absolutely sending the message to your daughter that your love for her is conditional and that you are willing to send Lucy away for the comfort of Tina. And what a terrible message to Tina that every time her older sister jokes with her, she'll be sent away. It's no wonder Lucy is engaging in attention-seeking behaviors. I would also seek a second opinion from a different therapist in letting your 6-year-old sleep in your bedroom. Because that's definitely not normal. You're the idiot. You're right that Tina was your main worry at the moment, but clearly Tina is your main worry all the time. Lucy has noticed and understandably resents that, so is acting out. Instead of working with Lucy to repair the rift and help her feel secure, understand that you love her just as much. You confirm her worst suspicions and send her away. Until you work to spend more time with Lucy and let her know you love her as much as a precious angel child, this will get worse. And it won't be Lucy's fault, it will be yours. You're the idiot. Your job was to be her dad and handle the situation, not for the hard work off on your ex at the first hint of trouble. And Lucy didn't just think you were kicking her out. You did kick her out. You treated her like a friend who misbehaved and had to be sent home for her parents to deal with instead of stepping up and addressing the issues yourself. Just because you intend to let her come back doesn't negate the fact that you did kick her out. Also, it's not your ex's job to rescue you the second parenting gets hard. I don't know how much to squeeze into the title, but hope that it is clear. This happened over the weekend when I helped with a party in my brother's house among some of his friends and family. I was in charge of grilling meat. When children came to me, some of them would either ask for meat directly or just pass me their plate. When that happens, I would ask questions like what's the magic word that I missed? Or should I hear a please? And most would remember to say please and thank you later. So there came a little boy, maybe 8-10, not a good judge of age came to me and held up his plate without a word. I reminded him and he just glared at me and dropped the plate on top of the griller. Instead of passing him grilled chicken, I passed him a new plate, told him that's not nice, you should say please. No please, no chicken. Let's try that again. The boy stomped his feet and then without warning, reached out and grabbed a piece of grilled chicken from the pan. With a yelp and a jump, the boy burst into tears, clutching his left hand. The boy's parents came storming in when they heard him cry. As the mother brought the boy to rinse his hands and the father started to yell at me, demanding to know what happened. He was a big, intimidating man. I got scared and was in a loss for words as he advanced before my brother jumped in between us. I explained to them what happened and the father told me that the boy was not mine to educate, that I should just have given him the meat. The mother came back with a crying boy whose left hand was red in a few areas. The parents demanded that I take responsibility for their son's injury, but I told them that if their son was this unpredictable, they should have him supervised at all times. The other children had no problem with my ways, and they should be responsible for their son. The parents got angrier and my brother told me to leave and let him handle this. I am not sure what happened later on because I went upstairs with sister-in-law and later on my brother assured me that everything is alright, as if I am a kid myself. Am I the idiot in that situation? Hope he's not in trouble, but he wouldn't tell me. You're the idiot. It is not your job to parent other people's kids. While it is nice to get a please and a thank you, you do not know any underlying problems that might be going on. Possible autism or social anxiety disorder. You can argue that in that case, the parents should be with the kids at all times. At a party, it is the perfect environment time to practice social skills. So, while your intentions for teaching manners were good, you didn't have the right to demand them. You're the idiot. You don't know this kid. For all you know, he is shy or doesn't speak for some reason. You're refusing him food for not saying please to you as you being on a power trip. Hopefully, because there wasn't prolonged contact and his mom quickly got his hand cooled down, he'll only have first-degree burns. If you are running a grill around kids and aren't ready and quick enough to stop little hands from touching it, you shouldn't be running the grill. Not the idiot. First of all, there's nothing wrong with insisting that people speak to you with respect, especially children who need to learn proper manners. Second, you had absolutely no way of knowing that the little crap would stick his hand into the grill rather than say, please. Either way, it's his parents' job to discipline him so that he doesn't do stupid, dangerous things like that going forward. Something tells me they won't and that he'll have to keep learning these lessons the hard way.